président de la 37e session du Comité du patrimoine mondial dans ce merveilleux hôtel accompagné par le spectacle de danse organisé par le ministère de la Culture et des Beaux-Arts du Cambodge. La suite du programme, j'invite
Deputy Prime Minister and Chairman of the 37th session of the World Heritage Committee and Dr. Theo. The closing ceremony of the 37th session of the World Heritage Committee, the artists of the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts have a great honor this evening to present the following program.
The National Organizing Committees of the 37th session of the World Heritage Committee has been privileged to welcome 1,465 delegates and observers from 128 countries at the Peace Palace, where path-breaking discussion and deliberation were carried out from 16 to 26 June 2013. Such an unprecedented mass from remotest corners of the world express your unconditional love and affection for the people of the Kingdom of Cambodia. And we also would like to report to you that we have 191 journalists from around the world and 480 journalists from Cambodia have worked relentlessly to disseminate the message of the 37th session of the World Heritage Committees. As Prime Minister Samdech Techo Hun Sen said in the 37th session of the World Heritage Committees, marks the triumph of the long aspiration of many equalities, dignities of cultures and civilization. Thanks to the deep insights of Excellency Dr. Sok Am, Chairperson of the World Heritage Committees, and thanks to the kind cooperation of distinguished delegates, it was possible to overcome the deadlocks in an atmosphere of mutual understanding and friendship. The Peace Palace inspires a thread the path of reconciliation, arriving at the consensus of almost all issues. During past 20 years of our experiences at the World Heritage Site of Angkor, the close cooperation between ICC Angkor and Apsara National Authorities under the auspices of UNESCO has put Cambodia back on the world stage, particularly in the field of heritage conservation as a key for sustainable development. In this regard, we gratefully acknowledge Her Excellency Arino Bukawa, Director General of UNESCO, for her continuous support for Cambodia. Delegate to the World Heritage Youth Forum from 16 countries led by Mr. Hon Mani, President of the Union of Youth Federation of Cambodia, and coordinated by Mr. Sok Sokan, Vice President of the ICAP Youth Wing for ASEAN, in coordination with UNESCO, have assured us that the future generation is fully prepared to carry out on the message of the World Heritage Committee. 2,500 young Cambodian men, women as volunteers, artists, art performers, duty officers, members of security personnel have worked around the clock to offer you a memorable stay in the Kingdom of Cambodia. On behalf of the National Organizing Committees and on my own behalf, may I request your kind understanding for the lapse or any inconvenience caused by the act of God or on our activity. Distinguished delegates, in the name of the Governor, Excellency Kim Bun Som, and the people of Siem Reap Province, I feel greatly honored to welcome you all in the great city of Angkor. Of course, it's not the Royal Elephant Terrace, it's in the Sokha Hotels, from where the visionary king of Angkor had relayed the everlasting message to the humanities in the Elephant Terrace. Ladies and gentlemen, une fois de plus, au nom du Comité national organisateur et en mon nom propre, permettez-moi de vous souhaiter une bienvenue très chaleureuse à la cité de Royal Angkor et de demander de chacun de vous d'agir en tant qu'ambassadeur de bonne volonté pour Angkor et le Prairie. Bien de l'humanité inscrire sur la liste du patrimoine mondial. Merci et bonne soirée. Thank you very much.
Pay tribute to our gracious hosts who were able to prepare this Plan B at very short notice, and I think this is a wonderful evening nevertheless. And in our culture, I think rain is always considered a blessing, so the closing ceremony has been blessed. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to be present here amongst you on behalf of UNESCO, and I bring greetings from the Director General, Mrs. Irina Bukova. And this closing ceremony of the 37th session should have been at the magnificent site of Angkor, but nevertheless it is in Siem Reap, and I would just like to say a few words about the site of Angkor. As the World Heritage Community, I think we can all be truly inspired by this wonderful site in countless ways. Firstly, Angkor is one of the largest archaeological sites in the world. The story of Angkor is a success story of what the World Heritage Convention can accomplish. First of all, it shows the importance of clearly asserting that the safeguarding of such iconic heritage is a shared responsibility of the international community as a whole. More specifically, it is a testimony to the excellent and positive results that can be accomplished by mobilizing expertise and resources through international cooperation to support the conservation work necessary to save this magnificent heritage. When Angkor was inscribed on the World Heritage List in 1992, it was also at the same time inscribed on the list of World Heritage in Nature. A year later, in 1993, the ICC of Angkor was established and held its first session. The joint work of ICC and Apsara has yielded excellent results, which you can all see, and I'm sure many of you have visited the site today and have seen the results for yourself. Thanks to this successful conservation effort, 12 years later in 2004, Angkor was successfully removed from the danger list.
The ICC Encore has provided a model platform of scientific expertise through exemplary coordination of a series of disciplines in the areas of restoration, conservation, and research. At the same time, it serves as a forum for architects, engineers, archaeologists, and other experts to exchange ideas, information, and research methodologies. In a few months, we will be celebrating the 20th session of that committee, the ICC. After 20 years of painstaking efforts by the national conservation authorities and the cooperation of the international community, Encore is today enjoying its full revival. The International Safeguarding Program for Encore is a striking example of international solidarity. Some 23 countries and scientific organizations representing 4 continents have implemented over 70 projects valued at more than $250 million. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this story can be considered an excellent example of the effectiveness of the list of World Heritage in danger and its very raison d'etre. Far from being a blacklist, the purpose of this danger list is to draw the attention of the international community, the experts and the funders to join their efforts towards one single goal, that is to help the country to safeguard the outstanding universal value of a site on its territory. Today, Encore is one of the treasured jewels among tourist destinations in Asia. As such, it is a motor for economic and social development of not only Cambodia, but all the neighboring countries and the region. Its global popularity also delivers a strong message of how fragile World Heritage sites are and reminds us of the responsibility we share for their protection. We stand ready to help through our World Heritage Sustainable Tourism Program to raise awareness among visitors and to help the site managers here and other stakeholders to develop solutions to respond to the needs of the populations while preserving the values of this important site. Cambodia, as you all know, has 2 World Heritage sites, Angkor and the Temple of Pre Vihear. The importance that the Cambodian people attach to their heritage, embodied in these millenary temples, and the will to remain in charge of their destiny, has certainly played a very important role in the reconstruction of the country and the reconciliation process. Your Excellency, among the highlights by which the 37th session of the committee will be remembered is also the moving restitution of 2 8th century Khmer statues, the Pandavas or the kneeling attendants from the New York Metropolitan Museum to Cambodia's National Museum, undertaken with UNESCO's active cooperation. As noted by the UNESCO Director General, this restitution is an expression of strong ethical and moral behaviors and provides an example of good practice to other museums and collectors. I also wish to mention the excellent results that Cambodia has achieved with the Youth Forum, Living Heritage Temple Environment People, that the host country organized here in Siem Reap just before the World Heritage Committee session. Young people from 16 countries worked with experts from the Apsara National Authority, took part in daily workshops and hands-on activities and discussions, and met with the local communities. Thanks to this experience, these young people will be the ones who will continue our work in preserving heritage for the future generations. Finally, in closing, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Royal Government of Cambodia, which has always been a very involved and a constructive partner for UNESCO, for their exceedingly significant contribution to the implementation of the World Heritage Convention. The exceptional and wise chairmanship of His Excellency Dr. Sokan at this 37th session in Phnom Penh and the warm hospitality of the Cambodian people will be long remembered. Thank you very much.
Director of the World Heritage Center, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great privilege and honor for me to be able to join this evening's closing ceremony at the personal invitation of the Deputy Prime Minister of this wonderful, warm, welcoming, wet country. But the green that we have seen around us in the wonderful natural efflorescence is the result of the rain, and this is something that we welcome and we treasure and we will keep in our hearts and minds for a very long time to come. I would like at the outset to express my deepest gratitude to the government and people of Cambodia for the excellent organization of this session, as well as the incredible hospitality accorded by our host to each and every one of us. On behalf of the Executive Board of UNESCO, I would also like to underline the profound appreciation of the Board for the generous support provided by this government of Cambodia in ensuring the successful implementation of this session, especially considering UNESCO's deepening financial woes. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate and note the wisdom of the government of Cambodia for consciously deciding not to put forward any nominations for the World Heritage List while it is chairing and hosting this session. This is very much in line with the changes in the rules of procedure of the committee proposed by the Director General to avoid any appearance of potential conflict of interest. Cambodia's decision in this regard should be enthusiastically applauded as it demonstrates the high quality of the country's leadership within UNESCO and sets a high standard which others should be encouraged to emulate. Thus, from this session, it is evident that Cambodia will continue to play a vital role in advancing the mandate of the organization in the area of cultural heritage, and for this, the Executive Board thanks you, Deputy Prime Minister. Thank you. Special recognition and commendation should go to His Excellency, Mr. Sokhan, for his phenomenal skills in chairing this quite complex and at times difficult session of this World Heritage Committee. Mr. Chairperson, I believe it is through your most inspired leadership and able management of the proceedings of the session that we are able to complete all of our tasks within the available time frame, and I thank you for your hard work. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the Secretariat of the National Organizing Commission, the advisory bodies without whom we could not do this most critical work. The World Heritage Center. I cannot express to you how important it is for us to recognize and acknowledge that this convention could not exist without the team at the World Heritage Center under the leadership of Dr. Rao. And in addition, I would like to thank the observers who have enriched the debates of the committee through their active and constructive engagement throughout the meeting. Distinguished colleagues, in the light of the proposed venue of this evening's ceremony, I would particularly like to take this moment to congratulate Cambodia and the ICC Angkor on the occasion of the 20th anniversary of this initiative. The ICC Angkor has proven, as the director has said, to be a forum par excellence for the exchange of ideas, information, and inspiration. It is a shining example of the international cooperation and a tangible expression of international solidarity in the protection of the humanity's common cultural heritage. Its mandate and close collaboration with APSARA embodies this real spirit of UNESCO in building peace by building bridges across the cultures of the world. The most important aspect of this initiative is even more imperative as we strive to meet the challenges of sustainable development of World Heritage Sites, and could well serve, as the director has spoken, as a model for all other such sites in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, let me thank you all once again, and especially the government and the people of Cambodia for its leadership in hosting the 37th session of the World Heritage Committee. It will remain in our minds and hearts for a very long time. Thank you. Finally, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for all you have done and on all of our behalves for the warm welcome and overwhelming friendship you have shown to all the delegations, most particularly, let me say, through the youth assigned to work with all of us over the last several days. They are a shining example for the next generation of World Heritage leaders. For the rest of those present, let me say a special thank you for your participation, and we look forward to seeing you all next year in Doha. Thank you for your attention.
Excellency Alexandra Kumin, President of the Executive Board of UNESCO. Excellency Excellency Dr. Rao, Director of the World Heritage Center. Excellency, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. My first word must be warm thanks. I am indeed pleased to express my gratitude to all of you for your cooperation. And I regretted that we are now not in the Elephant Terrace, but we are in the whole of this 5-star hotel. Firstly, you, our 5 dear Vice Chairman of the committee who support within the meeting of the Bureau was relentless. Secondly, dear Madam Rapporteur, I can say that you carry out your heavy burden in a remarkable way. You honorable member of our committee, colleague, so understanding and so cooperative. Finally, all of you honorable representatives of state parties for your very helpful participation. Ladies and gentlemen, the committee, I must say, really facilitated my task. And if the 37th session is crowned with success, it is unquestionably due to you. There is no doubt that the entire committee worked well, neglecting nothing important and rising to the challenge to respect the schedule without resorting to night session. Therefore, it is a pleasure for me to congratulate warmly my colleagues in the committee as well as the distinguished observer. In addition, the member of the Secretariat also deserve our unanimous thanks. The Rao, the Director of the Center, Mr. Kishore Rao, he is a deputy, Dr. Mathieu Rossler, and the head of unit within the center work with competence. Each morning they assisted me in dealing with issue of our 37th session, and at a very moment they facilitated the work of the committee. In addition, it must be said, they have not spared their effort in collaborating with their Cambodian colleagues for the overall logistic and smooth surrounding of the session. Naturally, I must also express my high esteem for Madame Maria Vision Milburn, the legal advisor, and my appreciation for the advisory body, ICROM, IUCN, and ICOMOS, which are pivotal for the scientific and technical activity of our committee. Still on the subject of science, I must not forget the interpreter who, through the specificity and nuances of 6 languages, made communication among us easier and ensure the precondition for a true dialogue. Allow me also to reserve a special mention to Mr. Francisco Javier Guitares, representative of Colombia, the state which served as the vice chairman. As you know, I did my best to address myself as suggested to the good functioning of the committee. But my duty as a host obliged me sometimes to be absent. I owe it to the truth to say that Mr. Guterres honorably presided over several of our deliberations and led the debate very well. He is to be congratulated. Moreover, we have to congratulate the young student who efficiently assisted the delegation. Chers collègues, mesdames, messieurs, j'en viens maintenant à ce qui est essentiel à mes yeux, l'esprit de la Convention de 1972. Comme je l'ai fait à Kyoto en novembre 2012, à l'occasion de la célébration du 40e anniversaire de cette convention, je voudrais attirer l'attention sur les faits qui méritent d'être rappelés à tout le monde d'une session à l'autre du comité et qu'il nous faudrait diffuser davantage auprès de l'opinion publique dans nos pays respectifs. Ces faits, vous les connaissez bien. C'est tout d'abord l'idéal d'universalité qui a inspiré les rédacteurs de la Convention. C'est aussi l'approche unitaire qui, dans les textes même de la Convention, comme dans les orientations pour sa mise en œuvre, lie de façon intrinsèque et substantielle à travers l'usage, la nature dans tous ses états et la culture, c'est-à-dire l'œuvre de l'être humain dans tous ses aspects. L'on doit également mettre en réserve l'innovation enregistrée en 1972 qui a marqué un véritable tournant dans l'approche du patrimoine culturel. Depuis lors, en effet, le patrimoine mondial englobe les monuments, les ensembles de constructions historiques et les sites. Mais surtout, ce sont les résultats atteints grâce à la mise en œuvre de la Convention qui valorise cet instrument juridique aujourd'hui de portée universelle. Comme vous les connaissez bien, je vais me contenter de me les énumérer brièvement. Comme vous le connaissez bien, je vous me au premier chef, la liste du patrimoine mondial se distingue par la coexistence volontaire et magnifiée entre les expressions monumentales des diverses religions dans le monde. En outre, cet esprit de paix a conduit de nombreux pays à la réconciliation avec leur propre passé en faisant coexister sur la liste indicative et au-delà, sur la liste du patrimoine mondial, des sites relevant des civilisations diverses. Il intègre de la sorte la diversité culturelle au sein même du patrimoine. Ainsi, il dépasse les clivages, rejette la paire au choc des civilisations et se réapproprie les faits du passé, même quand ils furent douloureux. Sans doute, malgré les effets de la pression de confrontation politique, la Convention de 1972 contribue à la paix et à la culture de la paix. De tout cela, nous devons tous être conscients et fiers, et nous avons continuer à défendre de toutes ses forces l'éthique du patrimoine mondial. Cette sorte de défense et d'illustration est aussi une manière d'assurer l'avenir de la Convention. Excellences, Mesdames, Messieurs, à l'ouverture des travaux de notre 37e session, il m'est revenu de vous faire part d'un certain nombre de recommandations. Je n'y reviendrai pas dans le détail, mais je tiens, à la lumière de nos débats ces jours derniers, d'insister sur 3 points. Tout d'abord, la nécessité, le nécessaire effort, tant individuel que collectif, que nous avons à faire pour sauver le fonds du patrimoine mondial. Malgré les difficultés financières à travers le monde, nous pouvons trouver le moyen de permettre un bon traitement et une juste évaluation des dossiers relatifs aux sites inscrits ou à inscrire. Nous savons tous que le volume de travail demandé au Centre du patrimoine mondial et aux organisations consultatives est en augmentation constante, ce qu'il faut donc des fonds suffisants pour faire face à notre devoir de base. En second lieu, j'insisterai de manière pressante sur le respect que nous devons tout à notre convention, car son succès qui est le nôtre, nous autres, les pays partis, ce succès tient en grande partie dans l'observance des orientations et des procédures. Je tiens également à adresser mes vœux compléments aux organisations consultatives pour l'importante tâche qu'elles assument. Toutefois, je tiens à leur rappeler amicalement que tout leur espère va veiller à ne pas mettre en doute la crédibilité de l'ICOMOS et de l'UICN. Je leur rappelle aussi que le dialogue avec les États partis à la Convention ne peut qu'améliorer les conditions de mise en œuvre et de la Convention. Du reste, compréhension mutuelle, dialogue constructif, coopération active sur les conditions de la survie de notre Convention, de notre comité, du système de patrimoine mondial. Excellences, chers collègues, Mesdames, Messieurs, permettez-moi, pour finir, de vous exprimer tout l'honneur que notre pays a ressenti en accueillant la 37e session du comité. Pour vous accueillir, Son Excellence le Premier ministre, Son Majesté Johan San, a fait un geste que nous avons tout apprécié profondément. Il a bien voulu faire mettre à la disposition de notre comité et des États partis à la Convention du Centre du patrimoine mondial et des organisations consultatives, ainsi que des observateurs et des journalistes, le siège même de la présidente du Conseil des ministres. Nous espérons avoir pu être à la hauteur de la mission qui nous a été confiée. Nous espérons vous voir nombreux revenir dans notre pays pour apprécier davantage le sourire khmer et pour mieux connaître les merveilles de notre patrimoine. Nous espérons surtout nous retrouver tous ensemble l'année prochaine à Doha, capitale du Qatar. Au revoir, chers amis. Merci beaucoup.
Mr. David Martel Pintado, logistics behind the scenes. Without him, the committee could not work. Bravo!
ยังโลกให้กลับไป